Hey everyone, we just finished our year planning session, and I am very excited to share what we did to help our marriage and our family live with intention this year. So, in this email, there are a couple of links to some documents to help you. There's the year planning calendar, the questions that you need to ask. There's also a family emergency binder. And there's a couple other links for Cube Money. We are going to be starting using Cube Money in our relationship this year. And then, so I'm very excited for you to be able to start this year off with intention. So there's a couple things I wanted to go over with you that helped us this year. So as we were going through, the questions in the year planning worksheet really helped us have a great discussion. And a couple key things, definitely have a little snack to have available. And make sure that if you do have children already, that they are not near you or around you. Maybe get a babysitter or send them over to a neighbor's house, or have your year planning session after they go to bed. Because it's really vital to have that connection and togetherness so you can have a very frank discussion about what needs to happen this year. So we looked over this year, had our calendar out, looked at school schedules and work schedules and conferences that we need to attend and our vacations, and just really planned out the year in terms of activities. And then we broke things down specifically what we want to do. So, for example, we want to have more dates, but it's not necessarily a part of our budget to hire a babysitter every week. So some of the solutions that we came up with for ourselves was we want to swap with other couples. So we need to definitely network and find other couples who are willing to swap kids so that we can watch their kids, and then the next weekend they watch our kids, so that we can go on more dates. And then we put a number next to every goal that we had or activity that we want to do together. Maybe there's something that we needed to purchase this year, and we put a dollar number next to it so that we know specifically how much money we need to set aside every month to accomplish that this year. And then there's a couple of our goals that just are not a part of our monthly spending. It's just not feasible. So then we did some brainstorming back and forth about what are we going to do to fund this? What can we do together as a team to be able to accomplish that? And it was a really good discussion. There was some give and take from both of us, and definitely some great solutions that we came up with between the two of us. So I really enjoyed that conversation with my husband to be able to plan this upcoming year. Just a couple other things that I wanted to go over with you in regards to that. And, what were we going to do to change our personal spending this year? The one is our Cube Money. So one of the problems that we have experienced, it's a little personal with you, but is that my husband and I spend differently. And I want to do cash and he wants to do credit card. And we've gone back and forth the last couple of years about what we could do in regards to how we want to spend money. And so he brought up one of our problems. And I said, well, I know how to fix that. And that's with the Cube Money app. And he's like, oh, okay. So I'm like, we already paid for our lifetime membership. And when it comes out in end of March, beginning of April, we'll be able to start putting money into those categories or cubes, as they call them. And then once we need to use that money, we can just transfer it to that debit card and swipe it. So he's using the debit card, still that same concept, but I'm having the categories, which is my concern. So I'm really glad that will be able to be resolved for the two of us. And, some of the things that he was concerned about was that we weren't setting aside enough money for the car and the house repair, and he mentioned a couple of repairs that we need to do this year that I was not aware of. So that was a really good conversation that we were able to say, okay, how are we going to fund those? What are we going to do to make sure that those things get taken care of? And then I brought up a couple of concerns for myself in regards to our shopping. And so one of the things that we've done to help with our shopping and time, really, I'm working full time and he's going to school full time. And then we have 3 little kids. And so one of the things that we discussed was making sure that we stay within the amount of money that we set aside for eating out and grocery shopping. We've been using Instacart, which has helped tremendously because he was going to the grocery store and spending more than what I had allotted for. And so we'd had a really big discussion about that this last year. And so once we started using Instacart, it was like a huge blessing to us because there was no spontaneous purchases. And that was really, really helpful to us. And also some other things that we've wanted to accomplish this year is fully funding our retirement account. My husband turns 50 and so we looked up, once he turns 50, we can contribute an extra $1,000. Okay, so how are we going to fully fund this year? What are some ways that we need to sacrifice? And where is that money going to come from? So just having that frank discussion with my husband in regards to those things was really just a real connection with my husband. And so I really enjoyed that immensely. And then also we talked about our vacations that we have, because one of the things that we want to do is in regards to living with intention is spending quality time with each other and creating memories. We want to spend our money on the things that create memories. So sometimes my daughter will say, well, I want to go buy some clothes. And I'll say, oh, well, you don't have the money for that right now. And it's not that we don't have money. It's just that we don't have money for that. And I say, we could spend money on lots of clothes and going out to eat all the time. But if we did that, we would not be able to go on vacations or create memories by going to events. And so we sat down and booked the calendar and said, okay, we're going these dates on our vacations and we're going to need to set aside X number of dollars. So we already had some money set aside into the vacation account, but obviously it's not fully funded yet. And so we discussed some of the ways that we could fully fund it. We got some Christmas money from some grandparents this year. And so we'll put that money into the vacation account. And then we had taken the flea market flippers Christmas challenge and we started selling some things on Facebook Marketplace. And so we've been saving up some money, but we really want to rededicate ourselves to getting those out and all of our baby things like a baby changing table and stroller, just get them sold. They're just sitting in our garage. And we're going to take that money and fund our vacation account from that. So just kind of working forward, looking at our calendar, seeing what we need to accomplish this year, assigning a dollar amount, and then figuring out how we're going to fund that specific category. So those are just some things that we did in that discussion that we were having with one another. And looking forward as to what we wanted to do weekly, we had fallen down on our money dates. And it was not being very consistent. And I reminded him that this is what I do, and we needed to get back on track so that I wasn't a hypocrite. So he totally agreed to that. And we set aside Sunday nights at 8:30. 8:30 because our kids go to bed by then. They're in bed probably 7:30, 8 o'clock. We wanted to make sure they were definitely asleep by 8:30 so that we had that alone time. And then we have the agenda to go over. One of our challenges is the meal planning, because this last year we've had some challenging medical issues. My husband was diagnosed with diabetes, and then I was diagnosed with high blood pressure. And we had a very frank conversation about, hey, we need to eat better. This is really bad. We've had major expenses that we've had to pay out this year because of that, as well as the medication. So let's eat better this year. And that is something that's been very important to us, the discussion that we had today. And in the Money Date agenda, the meal planning and schedule is on there that you can discuss for that week. And we're really excited to be able to get on track for our finances and also our health. That was a big thing that we struggled with this last year. So I know that as I say this to you, I have to be accountable to you and just let you know that that's what we want to do. And that is important to our relationship. And also, as you schedule your weekly money dates this year and sit down together as a couple, it will strengthen your relationship because you're communicating on a weekly basis about your needs, your wants, your expectations, your goals, and reviewing the things that you discussed at your year planning session. Are we still on track? Are we having any hiccups? Do we need to find some money somewhere else? Do we need to make some extra money somewhere else? Do we need to sell something? Do we need to pick up a second job? Do I need to get a raise? Are we going to use our tax return? Thinking about all of those things to be able to accomplish your goals, but meeting weekly will make sure that everything is going to happen with intention. So we recommitted to each other to do that. And I'm very excited for this upcoming year and all of the things that my husband and I will do. And I hope that this email and this video will help you with living with intention this upcoming year and providing you the guidance that you need to overcome any financial challenges that you may have and set the goals that you need for living with intention. So thank you so much for letting me share this with you. And I look forward to sharing more with you this upcoming year in our emails.